All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
Welcome back to the Big Mig Show, and good morning. Of course, I'm your host, Lance Miliaccio, with my co-host, George Ballantine. It's tip as a spear, edge of the knife. You know how we do it. Lots to cover, lots going on. George B.
Yep.
What's up, bro?
I don't know. Just trying to, like, Rumble, regular Rumbles does not playing for me. Even though it's playing out, everybody sees it. But there's just so much stupid shit. But it's hump day. So I guess that's a good thing for some. Not for me, though. No girl, no wife.
Well, we're midweek. It's rise and grind. We've been up since the early hours of the day. Of course, if you didn't catch the Crypto Power Hour this morning, we had a great education piece. That was 7 a.m. Eastern Standard. And, of course, we're the top crypto show on Rumble based on views. Hopefully you caught it. If not, make sure you check it out and hit that follow button on them over at the Crypto Power Hour. That way you get the notification we're going live, just in case you forget. But it's Wednesdays at 7 a.m., Fridays at 7 a.m. So, of course, we're excited to be here as always. And if you love the show, the best way to say thank you to us is hit that follow button. If you can do the paid subscription, fantastic. It's only $5 a month. You can gift subscriptions. We appreciate all the new subscribers. So thank you guys so very much. It's a vote of confidence. It's the nicest way to actually compliment us, that or a Rumble Rant tip, or you can tip us in our Rumble crypto wallet. And, of course, you can now get Rumble Premium with Perplexity. It's kind of a package deal. If you're paying for Perplexity elsewhere, you might want to just go ahead and cancel that and then come on over to Rumble, and then way you get a package deal. Appreciate those guys at Rumble for everything they do for us. So check them out. And, of course, don't forget to follow us on social media. Look, we love our crypto, but we also love our gold and silver, one of our longest sponsors, Genesis Gold Group. We appreciate those guys over there for everything they do for us. And, look, country's $40 trillion in debt. You better have a backup plan and an escape plan. And, of course, in my opinion, prepper bars are your perfect escape. Silver and gold, they're real tangible forms of wealth. You can hold them, trade them, trust them. And that's what this bar is all about. As you can see, there's 3 different separate denominations on that bar. Of course, while you've got this, no government can seize it, no hacker can steal it. Time is ticking. And you need to act now to secure your prepper bars before the government rolls out whatever their next move. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I never really know what's going to happen, even with this administration. And, of course, don't forget to use right now for your silver. You're going to use Big Mig Silver as your promo code. On your gold, you're going to use Big Mig Gold. Silver will get you 10% off. The gold will get you 5% off. BigMigBar.com is the website. Use those promo codes. You can call them at 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154. TheBigMigBar.com.
Break me off a piece of that prepper bar.
Yeah. Lance is muted. He's coughing. I see it. All right. Well, we were talking about this yesterday, by the way, on the show.
Coffee.
What?
Choked on a little bit of coffee there from just before the break.
Yeah. Choke on it, right? Okay. We talked about this on the show yesterday. I'm telling you, we know things. We know a lot of things, but who is in charge in Iran? Because now they're trying to do, or Trump is sending people over for peace talks, try to negotiate and stuff, but who are they negotiating with? Because all the generals from the Iranian army is saying, you got to talk to them. How many people got to be on the table? Who the freak knows? But, interesting, Lance, because the generals say they kidnapped the Iranian leader, the Ayatollah. Isn't he all busted up with a broken leg and all that shit from the bomb? I mean, how hard can it be to freaking kidnap him?
It wouldn't be very difficult. And we're talking about what we discussed yesterday. You got the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, that you're extremely powerful. We told you yesterday that they weren't in lockstep with the negotiations. The Ayatollah is allegedly saying they're in charge to negotiate. That's the regime of the Ayatollah. You're right, George. The Ayatollah appears to have been injured. They haven't gone public. I don't even know if he's really made a true public appearance. We don't know whether it's all been AI. And then you've got the leadership from the Basij militia who say that they're also have to be agree to whatever the terms are. They're all positioning themselves. They all want control of Iran. They all want control of the Bitcoin mining operations and the oil and the fees, from the Strait of Hormuz. You name it. They all think they're in charge. They're all throwing the hammer down. And we told you this. Our sources had told you that they don't really know who they're negotiating with. I think Trump has been overly confident in what he's told the American public. But look, the warships from the U.S. are stacking the region. Nobody knows who's calling the shots. We're hearing the Ayatollah was taken hostage. This is a powder keg, man. Don't underestimate, that any particular thing could set this off. But the Iranians aren't going to negotiate. Let me say this. They've done this historically. They come to the table, they lie, they cheat, they connive. George was right over the target when he said that they just wanted that ceasefire so they could restock. They caught that one container ship coming in from China that had all kinds of missile precursor chemicals needed for missile fuel systems. Looks like the China was sending over a major load of it. Of course, you heard about the attack on the container ship. They hit the engine compartment. They stopped it dead in its tracks when it refused to stop. And look, there's going to be more of this because, of course, there's lots of stuff in transit while the Iranians are trying to restock. Well, don't trust them. I say crush them like insects under your shoe and get some leadership in that the people want, not the military junta leadership or the militia or the Ayatollah. They all got to go, baby.
All right. We have breaking news. $10 donation from Real Rat Dog 2020. Thank you, love.
Oh, thanks, man.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, we always appreciate those Rumble and tips. Get in there, drop a few dollars. Our overhead continues on. And if you'd like to sponsor this show, hit us up at info@thebigmig.com. So, Rat Dog, thanks so very much. And if you guys are new in the chat, don't be freaking shy. Tell us you're new. We'll give you a shout out. Come on into the chat. Get in there. Talk some shit. Do whatever. Throw it around. Leave a comment because all that stuff goes into the Rumble algorithm. And, of course, Rumble management always looks at what kind of interaction you've got. We've got thousands and thousands of viewers on every show. Hit the follow buttons, man. I like to see some thousands and thousands of new followers. So don't be shy about that. We appreciate it. You want to play the clip, George?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
But you talk so much.
Okay. What I do?
Well, so they say that the generals want, before they negotiate, they want the blockade to be removed.
Of course they do.
Of course, right? Their Karg Island, it's being filled up. There's almost like no more room. And Iran thinks, for some reason, they think they could win this over patience. And that's why they're trying to do this. Why Trump extended another negotiation? I don't know. Just giving them more time. We've been saying this. You've been saying it. We all been saying it. Just keep giving them more time.
I would say no to all.
You got to think though, if Iran has all these tunnels under there, no one really knows. I mean, they could have tunnels and bring in stuff in from other countries. I don't know. Do you know? Nobody knows. But we're gonna find out real quick. I'll play the clip now.
Alert: bridge and power plant day could now be any day of the week. A fierce power struggle breaking out in Iran, and President Trump showing a lot of patience. 47 says U.S. airstrikes have seriously fractured the regime, so Pakistan asked us to hold off on B&P Day until Iran can get it together. Tonight, there could be a coup. No one knows who's calling the shots. Vance, Witkoff, and Kushner were supposed to leave for Islamabad, but they never took off because the Iranian delegation never took off, which is suspicious because this morning, Trump said the gay Ayatollah authorized the deal.
They just got the okay to go forward, which I knew they were going to do anyway. I mean, I don't think they had a choice. They have to negotiate. And, the one thing I'll say is this: Iran can get themselves on a very good footing if they make a deal. They can make themselves into a strong nation again, a wonderful nation again. They have incredible people. But they seem to be, bloodthirsty.
So the gay Ayatollah told his ministers wheels up, but the military said not so fast. We're basically looking at another Iranian hostage crisis. This time, they've taken themselves hostage, and therefore the negotiations. The IRGC won't agree to sign over the Strait and the uranium, and they're the only votes that matter because they're the ones with the guns. The generals are demanding Trump lift the blockade as a precondition for more peace talks. They want to play an economic game of chicken.
Iran sees this as a game of endurance. They believe that time is on their side and that ultimately the domestic pressure when it comes to energy markets and the stock market will force President Trump to make a deal that's in their favor. That is not the truth. That is not the reality. The president and his counterparts in Israel have the ability to continue this operation for months if they need to.
It's the Iranians up against the clock. The blockade's already cost them over $1 billion. Checks are bouncing, and their economy's in a death spiral and facing a Great Depression.
Somebody just put in a chat, how many times did Trump post we have won? Lots of times.
Too many times.
I mean, if you really look at it in terms of military operation, we really did win. I mean, they can't really. Iran's in no position to really do any real damage to really win this war, or try to win in, or fight into it, because they would have kept doing it. Question is, to really win this war, there has to be no more regime. End of story. Full stop. That's a truly way for this war to win.
Yeah, you're going to have to crush the IRGC. You're going to have to crush the Basij. You're going to have to crush them both, and you're going to have to crush the Ayatollah leadership. You're not going to be able to negotiate with them and leave any of them in place into the power vacuum. You know, and I love how Jesse Waters calls him the gay Ayatollah.
Well, because they say he's gay.
No, I know, but I think it's interesting, of course, you know, especially in that region. But I think it's funny how he's been tagged the gay Ayatollah. But the point is, look, we don't have all the people at the table because they're not all coming to the table. They're all negotiating. Of course, they want the Strait of Hormuz open. The IRGC wants all the weapons and all the restocking that's been promised by other countries that they've purchased with Bitcoin. I mean, they're mining Bitcoin for less than $1,400 a Bitcoin, and they're selling it and trading it as fast as they possibly can. And they're also laundering. They're moving that money out of the country. They've got all kinds of wallets connected to it. Look, everybody wants to get their hands on the money that's been stolen from the Iranian people. And of course, all this leadership, the battle, it's going to continue. It's not going to go away unless we crush them as we need to do. So that's the support I give the administration. Stop trying to negotiate, be a hammer, get it done. Let's rock and roll, and let's get the hell out of there.
Yep. How many more extensions we need to give them, or we should give them?
0.
I mean, I get it. You're trying to do diplomacy. I get it. But really, the fact of the matter is, how can you try to negotiate when you don't know who's in charge or who's running shit?
Yeah. 100%.
You would think that if the military, like if they're Iranian military, if they did kidnap the Ayatollah and hold him hostage, and they don't want nothing to do with him, you would think that they were like, okay, America, come on in. We give up. Let's redo our country. Because, you know, they don't want it. They know what they're up against. I mean, they have no
US, though,
they have no Air Force. They have no Navy.
In 1953, the U.S. dealt with an Iranian militia that actually came into leadership. That was 1953. Historically, we understand how important a lot of these military groups are, and none of them are going to walk off quietly. The IRGC wants to stay in control. The Ayatollah wants to stay in control. And, of course, the Basij wants to stay in control of their areas. George, you are 100% correct. So unless you get all three of those to the table, but I don't think you're ever going to get all three to the table. And I think
you shouldn't Lance. First of all, you shouldn't have to have all three to the table. That's dumb to me. That's dumb on Iran's part, or anybody's part.
But you know, listen. Historically, the U.S. has done this very often. I looked it up yesterday after a discussion you and I had, that we've dealt with militia groups in many times in foreign countries. We know that's what happens.
That's if the militia group is taken over. No. You're going to cede power?
Oddly enough, we have a history. I looked at 10 different events around the globe that was actually, I Googled it. I just wanted to see what it came up with because I wasn't really sure.
Who do you got? Like, which one? Do you got one off the top of your head?
I don't have them off the top of the head. It was when I looked at it yesterday, but I found out about the 1953 event when the U.S. was in Iran. Same kind of stuff. But here's what's ugly, George. When you look up the history of Iran, you look how many times the U.S. has been dealing with them and negotiating. We have spent billions and billions of dollars dealing with these corrupt regimes. We released money. You know, Biden released money. Obama did stuff. Enough's enough. It's time to squash this. It's time to end it permanently so we can add some peace to that region. Enough with countries like Iran that are dealing with terrorists nonstop. Enough's enough. Let's go all in. Stop negotiating, Donald Trump. Stop doing it, Pete Hegseth. It's time for you guys to stop bullshitting around. No more negotiation. Let's drive a nail. You know, let's get the hammer and let's drive the nail all the way into the board this time. And we'll get the hell out of there. But if you guys keep trying to pussyfoot around, you got the Pope now talking about, oh, we need to have peace. No, he doesn't understand. None of that. He's not dealing with terrorism in Italy. And he's got plenty of other stuff going on in Italy he should be focused on. I'm tired of it all. And at this point, I think it's time to be a hammer.
Fuck, who cares what the Pope says? Anyway, but so one thing with Iran is 90% of their oil, China buys the oil from Iran.
100%.
And China's hurting right now. But, why, you know, didn't Russia support Iran? Didn't China support Iran, even North Korea? How come they're not coming in to help their so-called ally?
I don't think they want to step into this cesspool.
Right.
You know?
They talk all that talk, you know, oh, you can't do this, they're our ally. But when it comes down to the fucking nitty-gritty, they're nowhere to be found.
Well, look at NATO. They're doing us dirty too. NATO takes all our money. We pay 70% of the bill. They don't want us to fly in their airspace. They don't want to land our planes in our own bases. I mean, NATO's a piece of trash.
It's not NATO. It's the countries that are in NATO. Supposedly,
but it's allegedly a lot of NATO allies. You're getting pushed back all the way around in NATO publicly. Of course, we already know the position that Spain and Italy have taken. But look,
even the UK did it. The UK did it. But look, Australia, UK, they didn't want to help out with the blockade. Listen,
no doubt.
So we need to seize Carg Island, take the oil, sell it, use the money for us, maybe pay down our debt, whatever. But that's it. And
I got to be honest, it's time to strike the power plants, shut the Bitcoin mining down or strike the Bitcoin mining. I'm sure you guys are thinking about, we get our hands on some more Bitcoin. Stop that bullshit. If you want to stop the money supply, George just got it right. Cut off all the oil, seize all the oil on Carg Island, and then go ahead and start hitting the power plants. If you don't know where the Bitcoin miners are operating, I'm sure you could track it through IPs and otherwise, but whatever. Stop BSing around, guys. The administration, stop pussyfooting around. Stop trying to negotiate. Enough's enough. I saw something interesting, George. I just want to mention it. Devin Nunes.
I have it. I have the stuff in there.
Oh, you do? Okay, great. Yeah, I'm happy you looked at that. We'll talk about it in a bit. I have a theory, and you have a theory on this also.
You want to just do it now since you brought it up? Might as well just do it, bro.
Go ahead. I'm going to let you take the lead on it because I didn't get enough time to research it because I had the radio show this morning.
Okay, I'm just going to put up. So Devin Nunes put up this post this morning. He is stepping down as CEO of Truth Social. Pretty much he's saying he's going to focus more on his role as advisory with the president. You know what I think, though? I'm going to keep going with the tweets. I'm not going to read each one because it's just too much to read. Hold on, I'm going to get to the last one. Here's this one. I'm going to do the last one. I'm going to read it. He goes, let me pull it up. Yeah. He goes, I'd like to thank President Trump's media and millions of users and hundreds of thousands of retail shareholders and amazing patriots working on our company's team, all of whom were indispensable in creating and operating this unique company. It's an incredible honor to serve Trump media. I remain fully committed to our common cause of free speech on the internet, which is now and will always be fiercely protected by Truth Social. So, he's talking about how he spent the last decade fighting corruption and censorship in both the public and private spheres in Congress. Corruption level, highest levels, including the Russia collusion hoax, Ukraine impeachment hoax, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Here's what I'm thinking, people. Hold on, Lance. And when I found out because Lance told me this morning. I was like, what? He's stepping down. I says, Trump's going to pick him for AG. That's what I'm saying. We'll see what happens, but I think Trump's going to pick Devin Nunes to be his attorney general. Go ahead, Lance. What do you think?
There was a quiet announcement about an interim CEO being placed in the Truth Social. I caught it very late last night. I told George about it first thing this morning because it was too late to let him know last night when I caught it. I caught it around, I don't know, 11, 12 o'clock my time. I think you're right. I don't know what his role is going to be. AG makes the most sense because, of course, Trump needs a pipe hitter in there to get that job done. Also, something interesting. An attorney was assigned to the AG before the AG announcement was even named. And oddly enough, that attorney...
What are you talking about?
Well, there's an attorney, and I'm going to give you the name here. It just got named as the attorney to the AG. And what I think is interesting about it, and I'll give you his name here. Let me look it up here.
He's not the attorney for the AG. He's the attorney. I know he's the older guy. He's attorney for he's general counsel.
Well, he was assigned to being the attorney for the AG also. And what's interesting about it is he has a relationship with both Donald Trump and Devin Nunes. I mean, the reason I think that could be important is because Devin Nunes is not an attorney. So it could be that they wanted to find somebody. No. It could be that they wanted to find somebody they really trusted to put in there. Because again, you don't have to be an attorney to be the AG. You and I both have discussed that. The point is that guy has a relationship with both Donald Trump and Devin Nunes. It's an interesting signal, George, that might confirm your theory.
Hold on a second. Hold on, I'm looking it up. What's his name?
Yeah, I've got his name
Not
right
Todd
there.
Blanche. What the hell?
No, his last name is Di Genova. He's an Italian guy. So
could be his
name.
Yeah,
he's got
unless the only other viable thing I can think of with Nunes.
His name is Joseph Di Genova.
That's him. All right. So the only other thing I can think of is he going to put him as a White House chief of staff. He's a trusted man. He's been doing, with CEO for True Social. So,
and I got to tell you, that could be a chief of staff. Of course, we know that Susan Wiles is out. She may be out permanently. We don't know about what's going on with her health. There hasn't been much dialogue about it. That her influence hasn't been quite as powerful at the White House. Some people I know were just at the White House, and they were talking about that there seems to be something going on. So here's the call: AG or chief of staff. I think either one of those is a likely announcement imminent. And the fact that this Joe Di Genova appears to be a guy that has a relationship with Donald Trump and Nunes, I think a lot of things are pointing here. I don't know. I heard some things. So did George. So we'll see how that plans out. Let's talk about FBI Director Patel and Blanche, and of course the Southern Poverty Law Center. Are they finally going to get theirs, George?
Are they finally going to get theirs? You would think so. You would hope so. I mean, they got them dead to rights, right? And
yeah, I mean, this is a big indictment. It's a big indictment.
You have to,
just indicted the leftist NGO Southern Poverty Law Center on 11 counts.
Right. So you have to look at this. Over the course of since Trump's presidency, how many arrests, indictments we haven't seen them do, because God knows what. So when they do one like this, they got to have the goods, right? It's got to be like they're there. So, I mean, what did you say? 11 counts? I bet you they'll find more, right? 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering.
Now, the SPLC said they were fighting white supremacy, but they were actually manufacturing the extremism. It actually alleges it's supposed to be exposing. They were paying sources to stoke racial hatred. Now, look, we've heard stuff like this coming out of Act Blue. We've heard stuff coming out of USAID funding. This isn't the first group. We've heard that George Soros and Alexander Soros have funded extremism. Is this just the shot across the bow? Do you think this is the first one? And they've been charged in the Middle District of Alabama. So I think they're seriously screwed because we know Alabama doesn't play down there. So they got wire fraud, bank fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering. Now, these are the initial charges. You know how that the DOJ works. They normally start with the first round of indictments. And then if they don't get an immediate plea deal, meaning an immediate guilty plea, if they fight it, they usually hit them with a superseding indictment.
Do we
Let's
know?
play a clip.
Do we know like how many people actually?
No, I didn't see anything on the number of people that are named in the indictment, and I didn't look at the direct indictment. So no, I don't know myself personally.
I'm
Maybe
just
the
curious.
audience knows. If you know, throw it in the chat. Let us know how many people have been named in this indictment, because it's not going to just be the institution. It's going to be the people that are involved. And here's the tricky part. If it's 3 or more individuals, it could turn into a concurrent criminal enterprise, racketeering, RICO. We might see other charges get layered on, and those are serious. Racketeering is a 50 to life with kingpin status and the rest of it. This could be really heavy. Of course, we don't know what the superseding indictment would look like, but you know the DOJ, that is their standard playbook. Superseding indictment is usually right around the corner. So let's play the clip and hear it from the horse's mouth here.
I'm just looking. So it says, I just did a search. It says no specific individual employees or leaders of the Southern Poverty Law Center were named in the indictment as of April 22nd.
Yeah.
So through reports in so. I mean, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
You got to indict somebody. Can you indict a business without having somebody's name on it?
Well, you can, because you could say that it's a criminal enterprise. You can start with that by saying that the institution itself is
RICO.
Wait a minute.
I know.
And that's exactly right, because that's how the whole racketeering RICO starts. Then they start naming, and they say, well, this individual did it, this, and this. And the indictments go on and on and on. I don't know how much leadership's involved, but this is ugly. This is exactly, George, what you and I talk about over and over and over again on the show. People are funding division and chaos in the United States. Open Society is, lots of NGOs and foundations, lots of media companies are funding it. Companies, Act Blue, Occupy, the Dem Occupy, or whatever the hell that thing's called. Can't think of the name right now. But this is the stuff that you and I have discussed over and over and over again. You have to stop them from doing this, because they're creating a false entity. They're creating this far left or far right extremism, whatever it is, and they just continue to propel it, and the American public is getting hoodwinked.
All right, so listen. So one informant mentioned in the indictment was reportedly paid over $270,000 while participating in the planning of the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all seen that again. Let's play the clip.
Good afternoon. Today, a few minutes ago, in the Middle District of Alabama, a grand jury returned an 11-count indictment charging the Southern Poverty Law Center with 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. According to the charges in the indictment, the SPLC is a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy and racial hatred by reporting on extremist groups and conducting research to inform law enforcement groups with the goal of dismantling these groups. As the indictment describes, the SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. The indictment describes this conduct in detail, but one troubling example is that the SPLC was paying a member of the leadership group that planned the Unite the Right protest in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 that resulted in the death of 1 person and injured dozens more. This particular person being paid by the SPLC allegedly received approximately $270,000 over the course of 8 years. In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least. These individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan, United Klans of America, National Socialist Movement, Aryan Nations affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America, Nazis, and the American Front. Now, as the indictment lays out, after SPLC paid members of these extremist groups, it created work product that reported on these activities that the members participated in or contributed to. And to that end, it was doing the exact opposite of what it's told its donors it was doing.
So I'm looking at the indictment. There's some more things in there. And so it says in the indictment that they made a fictitious companies in order to funnel money to pay these people like the KKK and alt-right. And I mean, it's crazy. But it says they even had somebody post social media, make social media posts that were racist. That was one of the informants. So, right, I mean, what? You're paying somebody to put racist posts, meanwhile you're allegedly trying to combat that?
What I think is interesting is you think about
how much
that's conversion and it's money laundering. And, you know, and it's orchestrated with 3 or more individuals. Clearly, there's lots of different groups, lots of different people. And the names of those groups alone would give you pause, right? But don't you think it's interesting, George?
The Aryan Nation that they're paying. Aryan Nation.
So, I know. Isn't it? Don't you think it's interesting, though, how often we see tremendous amounts of money being put into the left? I'm not saying I agree with this, but you never see the right putting any money into the alt media shows, into the news shows that are covering the truth. They never make any effort. They don't pay people to post on social media positive messages or the truth.
No, well, you know,
people for the truth.
They pay people to post messages on social media, but it's like more individually than as a whole. So I mean, we know I know who they are, but
you can't get the truth out because there isn't enough funding to get the truth out. The left will pay all these scumbags.
But this is the Southern Poverty Law Centers who's supposed to combat racism and all that stuff.
Oh, I know.
They were taking donations from people that thought they were doing the right thing, using that money to sneak around it and make the conservatives and the right look crazy and bad.
How about, wasn't John, isn't that who he sued when he got that settlement? And didn't the Southern Poverty Law Center attack him and his business?
Was it Southern Poverty Law? Could be.
Pretty sure.
So and he can't talk about it because whatever, NDA. But
he got a settlement.
So here's the thing. So when they're doing bank fraud and all this and open these businesses, you know, I don't know who their accountant is or their financial officer, the one that, you know, did the wire transfers, but, you know, cups will go on him first, and let's see if he sings like a bird.
Yeah, and that's conversion. When you set up false entities with the mens rea of committing a crime, it's concurrent criminal enterprise when you start layering all that. I think this is just the initial indictment. I think we're going to see a massive amount of indictments, but I hope we see additional indictments. I hope we see some other, news agencies get charged for what they're doing. I'd like to see 60 Minutes get indicted for what they did with Kamala Harris's video. I think they're doing a disservice to the American public. That's why you guys are here watching the Big Mig Show, because, you know, we bring you the truth just like we did about Iran, just like we're doing about this story. So that's why you're here, and thanks for the support. Let's talk about this major story. Oh, we're going to go to break. Okay. When we come back, we got a major story.
Unless you want to bypass it. You want to bypass break?
No, let's go. Let's do our break, and we'll come right back. Top U.S. nuclear chief caught leaking sensitive national security information to a total stranger.
What?
Stay tuned. The Big Mig Show will be right back with Lance Migliaccio, George Valentine. Yeah, we're dropping truth bombs. That's how we do it on this show.
I just got to add to that. That total stranger was a broad and she had boobs. We'll be right back.
Of course.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here we your hosts, Lance Migliaccio, George Ballantine. Do not give in to the war within. Big Mig Mafia in the chat, Army out there. Listen, if you're out there, and if you can join the chat, come join the chat. Get welcome to the family properly. And if you can hit that thumbs up button, like, follow, share, truly appreciate it. And the subscribe button, it's $5 a month. Helps out with overhead. Any little bit helps out. Just you being here is a tremendous help when you appreciate anything and everything you do. Because without you, there is no show, right? So thank yourselves. All right, this next one is crazy. And got to give hats off to James O'Keefe with his media company. And I keep saying this, you people, these guys at bars and stuff, and you got a girl and you're having drinks and he starts trying to drill you questions. Yo, stop thinking with the little head. Use your brains, man. I mean, this is a top U.S. nuclear chief. He was caught leaking sensitive national security information to a stranger. He reveals Army chemist was exposed to U.S. chemical nerve agent. Talked about children being hit with missiles in Iran. Well, I mean, disclosed U.S. plans to kill Iran's new supreme leader. I mean, he goes, he's dumb. I mean, you got a chick here. I guess if you're pretty looking boobs, you can get guys to talk, huh? Or just some guys are just stupid. I don't know. Alcohol must loosen them up, distort their thinking. But this guy's name is Andrew Hugg, right? That's his name, Andrew Hugg.
I think
Andrew Hugg,
that the honey trap is so well known in intelligence. You would think these guys have gotten all their training when they take over these positions.
Just look at
They
Solwell.
get promoted. They know what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. But they're so desperate for attention. These losers. I mean, listen to this line. The easiest way to get intelligence, send a pretty girl, talk to the guy. I have to resist your eyes. Your eyes have mesmerized me so much, almost like you're an intelligence. I mean, what an idiot this guy is. And he talks about these U.S. airstrikes. He's talking about chemical weapons. He's talking about that the U.S. isn't going to use nukes. I mean, yeah,
Let's play the clip.
I don't even know what to say to this. Let's play the clip.
So just so you guys know, I cut the clip out. I cut all the little stuff out that's irrelevant. And so here you go.
He might kill the next guy, the son. If he does the same ways, they already killed. We're gonna shoot missiles and destroy some stuff.
Yeah.
But if you want to win, if you want to make the country do what you want, you have to put people there.
I was hearing something that we killed kids in the car. Did we actually?
There's been some collateral damage, yeah, for sure. They always die in war.
and Chemical Safety Branch Chief in the United States Department of the Army spills detailed information about their possession of nerve agents.
And lungs won't work, your heart won't work, nothing will work.
Revealing that a U.S. Army chemist was exposed to the nerve agent due to careless handling.
She's supposed to wear all this gear, and she's like, I don't like it. She just wore like Crocs and her own clothes.
Yeah.
And so it's soaked in her clothes. And just soaked very well on her skin. So she could literally start touching stuff. Other people would touch like a door, and then people would die.
So you said there's missiles underground.
Yeah. We have all these sensors in space. We have radars, all these sensors to detect a launch. Space satellites with radars, you'll see it on the radar. You actually see the thing flying. I worked on Obama's tax money that he said. They just stole it, and they bought houses, cars, like $100,000 cars. If they can get themselves rich and leave and go live in Dubai, that's better than, they don't care about the people. That government is so corrupt. You're not a spy, right? No. Your eyes have mesmerized me so much that I'm almost going to tell you. That's why that's the easiest way to get intelligence. Like, just send a pretty girl, talk to the guy. I do work with like chemical weapons, nuclear weapons, but I do the safety, security stuff. This chief of chemical nuclear surety, which that's like not many people like outside, but in this world, surety means safety, reliability, security. It's like all the to make surety just means like all the things to keep it safe. I make sure the people are reliable. There's no psycho people working on the weapons. You don't want a psycho person with access to that stuff.
We don't want a freaking leaker like you having access. So it has been confirmed with the Pentagon that this U.S. nuclear chief, Andrew Hogue, was escorted out of the Pentagon. His LinkedIn page was scrubbed.
You notice that's a pattern, George. Every time one of these government officials, gets into one of these situations where they've divulged national security secrets or said something else stupid, you notice how they always run to LinkedIn to wipe their link, or they make their link private, or they do some other. Isn't it interesting how LinkedIn is always the first? Oh my God, I better go get rid of my link. Pretty incredible.
I mean, he is, but I took another part of that clip. It's a short clip because he worked over in Ukraine under Obama, and he goes on to say that the Ukrainian officials, once we sent over so many billions of our tax money, that they stole a lot of the U.S. tax dollars. And I know, Lance, you always brought that up about the houses Zelensky owns and stuff. So I'm going to play this clip and then because you found something else about Zelensky, which is interesting timing.
Like I said, I lived in Ukraine and worked there with the government. Really? That government is so corrupt. Like, they stole our money. Like, I worked on Obama's tax money that he said. They just stole it, and they bought houses, cars, like $100,000 cars. They're officials in the government. Yeah. So they get their hands on the tax money from you and me. Oh, my gosh. And they're like, oh, yeah. And then now that it's like $100 billion, $200 billion, they're like stealing it all. So.
Dang. Okay, so
yeah,
why would they use that money for that? Wouldn't they need it for like nuclear weapons?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. But but if they can get themselves rich and leave and go live in Dubai, that's better than they don't care about the people. No, they couldn't care less about the people.
And we've said it over and over and over again on this show that the Zelensky's administration, they've been stealing hundreds of millions of dollars in the aid given. They've sold our weapons on the dark web. Our weapons have showed up in Mexico and in the Middle East and elsewhere. But this is what they do. And of course, why did Zelensky steal the money, George? Because he needs to buy stolen art also. So,
well, allegedly.
Well, it's tough to be allegedly when you've got the art hanging in your office.
You don't know if he paid for it. It could have been a gift, possession of stolen property.
It could have been a gift, but at the end
of
the day,
receiving stolen property.
Yeah. So here's what we got. So on March 22nd, 3 paintings were stolen, and they were all by French masters, Cézanne, Renoir, and Matisse. Combined value was more than $10 million for the 3 paintings. They were stolen from a museum near the Italian city of Parma. And of course, surprisingly, less than a month after the heist, one of the stolen paintings, known as A Cup and Plate of Cherries by Paul Cézanne, magically appears in one of Vladimir Zelensky's videos that was posted on their website. Someone close to Zelensky either stole the art, bought the art from somebody, or Zelensky bought it directly. It's the Cezanne painting. Of course, they had to transport it across multiple borders. They had to bring it through customs and security checkpoints, unless, of course, it was military aircraft or private aircraft. We don't know the details of it. And somebody had to deliver it to Zelensky's office. So not necessarily a one-person operation, just proves that Zelensky's got lots of extra money to spend on all kinds of stuff, including stolen artwork. Maybe he was given it as a gift, so it's valid what George is saying. But listen, it's stolen. I'd like to know what he's going to do, but we've got a clip just breaking this down. But I've said it all along, George. What have I said about Zelensky over and over and over again?
Guy's been stealing money, buying houses all over the world. He's got the cars. His parents are set up. You know,
hundreds of millions. He's got 1.8 billion parked in offshore accounts.
I will say, though, when you look at Zelensky and you look behind him, you'll see the painting on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever decorated is terrible because you got that brown frame that goes around the picture frame. I mean, it's just fucking ugly.
It is ugly, but you know, he's a tacky guy.
On March 22nd, 3 paintings by French masters Cezanne, Renoir, and Matisse, worth more than $10 million, were stolen from a museum near the Italian city of Parma. The theft has since been investigated by Italy's Carabinieri and the Cultural Heritage Protection Unit. Surprisingly, less than a month after the heist, one of the stolen paintings, a cup and plate of cherries by Paul Cézanne, appeared in one of President Zelensky's videos.
Шановні українці, українки, коротко про цей день. ППО буде новий підхід до застосування.
Presumably recorded on April 16th, the video shows Zelensky addressing Ukrainians, with a stolen painting appearing on a wall directly behind his back. The video was published on the official website of the President of Ukraine, but has since been removed. This is a rare case of a stolen painting reappearing in public. Chris Marinello, founder of Art Recovery International, says that a very small percentage of stolen art is ever found.
5 to 10% of all art that's stolen is ever recovered, which is why we need to start focusing more on prevention.
He also confirms that stolen art often ends up in countries where the rule of law is weak.
They move them on through Belgium or Eastern Europe, countries where due diligence is not often practiced as it is in the West.
So I just wonder when Interpol is going to pay Zelensky a visit and question, well, how'd you come to have this painting in your possession, Vladimir? Who gave it to you? Who was involved? Where are the other paintings? We need to do a search of the house. Yada, 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 yada. Then maybe perhaps slap the cuffs on him, but they won't.
It'd be interesting to find out if Zelensky has other stolen artwork in his possession.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. The GIS from the Carabinieri, the special forces for Carabinieri, should go in there. They should notify him, we're coming in, we're seizing the painting until the investigation's complete. It won't, though. I'm sure Zelensky's going to say, oh, that was a copy. That wasn't the original. I just had a copy of it to show off. We'll see what he says, but unlikely because scumbags do what scumbags do. And I've said it all along. He's a scumbag. I've never thought we should have supported him from the very beginning. I don't like any part of it. All right, George, the consequences of war may be coming home to roost for you.
Why?
This may impact your sex life.
What sex life?
Well, at the end of the day, I'm hoping you have a sex life. World's largest condom maker says Iran war is a problem. Malaysia's Carex says prices may need to rise at least 20% as supply chains are directly hit. So it looks like it's a problem. This is a big condom manufacturer out of Asia. The Iran is poised to make condoms more expensive, George.
So what? I mean, a couple more dollars you got to pay for a condom. It's got to be worth your health, man. Not getting something. A lot of shit out there, people. I mean, look, if their supply chains are stagnant right now because stuff's not getting through, then, listen, all price and demand, Lance, right?
No doubt. So this is going to affect the brands Trustex, Carex, Durex, and Trojan, probably one of the more well-known ones. They're looking at price hikes of 20 to 30%. It's because of war-linked supply snarls in the Middle East. It's affecting a lot of the products that go into condom manufacturing. I probably now know more about condom manufacturing than I ever chose to know. But look, I guess at the end of the day, you have to think about whether you want a baby. So maybe a little preemptive measure. But of course, this comes home to roost for a lot of people. So we'll see. This isn't the only thing that's going to be impacted. So you hear about oil, but now you're hearing about condoms. All right.
Devastating news for Virginia.
Man.
For the country, actually.
Come on, man.
You knew it was going to happen.
You know, they're already talking about some voter fraud in this event. Somehow there's 35,000 votes that came into one of the districts that were all yes. And it looks like they're already investigating voter fraud for this particular.
Who's investigating it?
I just saw it last night. I just saw 2 announcements on it. One of them was a main news carrier. I can't remember exactly all the details, George, but I caught it late. And I thought that the story wasn't, ready.
Okay, I got the story.
Oh, go.
Okay. They say there's votes magically appeared. What'd you say, 35,000?
Yeah.
They cheated, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This court, it's going to knock it down. I'll go to another court. Judge is going to say, you know how many standing, and nothing will happen.
Yep, I agree.
There you go.
I agree. Virginia, I'm ashamed of you. I'm this whole redistricting sham that's going all across the country. I'm sick of it. It's not what the people want. It's
Lance,
more shenanigans.
You know what? I mean, I looked it up yesterday. A state will go, one will do it, then another state will do it to combat it. I mean, there's both sides do it. But I looked at Massachusetts. Do you know they got no Republican representatives in that state?
I know.
In Congress? There's 9 of them out of there. Not one is Republican. So
but that's what gerrymandering does, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, states have been doing it.
So
states been doing it. I mean, we had Missouri do it. Texas did it. California did it. Illinois is a big one that's done it. I mean, they even split up Utah just to do some dumb shit there. So let's play the clip first, and then we'll get to something. Because they're saying, I mean, they're gonna fight this in the courts. They're saying maybe the language,
the appeals court and the Supreme Court.
They're saying the language in the ballot was incorrect, and I mean, hear from the horse's mouth.
Approving an overhaul of congressional districts that favor the left.
The outcome could have major national implications when the midterms roll around. Madeline Rivera is live in Washington with the latest for us. Maddie.
Hi, good morning. So the new map takes effect immediately. The plan changes Virginia from 6 Democratic and 5 Republican House districts to a 10-to-1 split. The 4 left-leaning seats that Dems could pick up would give them an edge in the midterms as the GOP tries to cling on to a tight House majority. The vote has reignited criticisms of hypocrisy on both sides. Democrats say the redistricting effort is necessary to counter President Trump's push for GOP states to redraw their maps. Former President Obama saying, "Congratulations, Virginia." Republicans are trying to tilt the midterm elections in their favor, but they haven't done it yet. Thanks for showing us what it looks like to stand up for our democracy and fight back. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, who once spoke out against partisan gerrymandering, is defending the effort in her state. She says, as we watch other states go along with those demands without voter input, Virginians refuse to let that stand. We responded the right way, at the ballot box. Spanberger says the move is temporary, but it is expected to last until at least 2030 when the new census happens. The vote's not exactly a landslide. Check this out. The yes vote has a narrow lead of about 3 percentage points. Former Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin suggests that shows how divided folks are about this issue. He says the race was much closer than the left expected because Virginians know a 10-to-1 map is not Virginia. I urge the Virginia Supreme Court to rule against this unconstitutional process that will disenfranchise millions of Virginians. There have been multiple lawsuits, including whether the ballot language was appropriate and whether the process to place the amendment on the ballot was legal. Lawrence Ainsley and Brian.
Okay.
All right, we'll see. They say it's going to evaporate, but then the courts could go in and nullify it. But Lawrence, if you...
So, I mean, look, they're going to this and that, go back and forth. So, but guess what? Ron DeSantis came out and Florida said they could add up to 5 Republican seats to more than cancel out Virginia's 10-to-1 gerrymandering map that passed because Virginia has 6 Democrats. They'll get 4. Well, if Florida switches and gets 5, that'll be a +1. And they're doing their special session is next week for this. So,
all right. Is it just me? Every time I hear Barack Obama open his mouth, I just want to make him part of the Slapaho tribe. I just want to smack him. So I just thought I'd break this out. Barack Obama, here's a bag of dicks for you, because you deserve a bag of dicks. I'm tired of that shithead still being around. Him, Hillary Clinton, there's so many of them that I wish that would just shut the fuck up. Barack Obama, you need to shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear from you anymore. You cheated. We know your background. We know about your birth certificate and your social security number and all the rest of it. Shut the fuck up. Go into retirement. Go with your ugly ass hoe wife. Do whatever you're going to do. But I don't want to hear from you anymore. I'm tired of it.
I mean, you have to look, Virginia. Like, I wonder how many of those people that voted were of legal citizenship to vote on this.
I don't know. You know, I don't like any of this gerrymandering stuff. I don't like all this redistricting crap. The whole thing is disgusting. It's not what the American public wants. All the manipulation of our election system so that they can cheat and lie and install people. I'm tired of it. I'd like to see a brand new start. Honestly, I don't even know if it's possible, but I'd love to see Donald Trump pass an executive order that redistricting and gerrymandering is no longer allowed and force something through, even though it would be temporary. I'm just sick of the games. I just want a free and fair election system that represents everybody evenly. You don't have to agree with me politically. I don't care if you're a liberal or a nonpartisan. I bet you we agree on 80 or 90% of it. We want safety and security. We want low inflation. We want a safe country for our families. You know, we don't want to be too much big government. I bet we can agree on 80 or 90% of the items. I'm not saying we're going to agree on everything, but George, aren't you just tired of the bullshit? All the scamming and the machines and the deadmocrats. I'm tired of all that crap. I'm sick of it. We look like a third world nation to the rest of the world. They're laughing at us.
I mean, they scam. I mean, look at Amazon scamming now, price fixing. It's
I know.
another one. I mean, California Attorney General Rob Bonta he's looking into this, saying he's working. They say Amazon's working to make our life more unaffordable. They have a newly unsealed, listen to this, court filings that allege the company worked with suppliers to nudge prices higher at rival retailers. Prosecutors say that this move keeps Amazon looking cheap while blocking real price competition. And one example, they said Amazon, I'm going to say allegedly, raised the price of certain dog treats, then urged the manufacturer to make sure the retailer, Chewy, followed suit. And this was in a vendor email later collaborating that the price immediately went up on Chewy. I mean, there's more examples. You had Walmart, $25 Dockers to Levi's per, there's another one. I mean, it's crazy.
This is ugly. Chewy's the largest pet retailer online. They're one of the biggest ones out there besides Amazon. But this is actually hurting you guys. This is adding additional layers of inflation. And listen, George is right. It wasn't just Walmart. Home Depot appears to be named in this. Not that they've been named in the investigation report, but they actually were mentioned. Home Depot, Target, Walmart, Best Buy. These are all big box retailers.
No. Amazon is targeting Walmart, Home Depot and stuff.
No, you're not getting it. I actually read this on the radio show today. The retailers agreed to raise their prices so Amazon can still be cheaper. They actually agreed that they would raise their prices a little bit because what Amazon did was use their influence on manufacturers to push these other retailers to raise their prices.
Okay, so here, look. So Amazon flagged Walmart's $25 Dockers to Levi's. Now, Levi's then assured Amazon that Walmart had partnered with us to boost the price to $29.99.
Correct.
Okay. Then Amazon allegedly went higher. So it's if the manufacturers, if Amazon's working, let's say, example, with Levi's, and then Levi's agrees to raise the price to Walmart, then Walmart has to raise their price. Because again, and it's just
what Levi's is doing is telling Walmart that they have to raise their price. They're trying to fix. It's called price fixing, and it's tremendously illegal. They're telling the people at Walmart, by the way, you have to raise your price because Amazon is raising their price. You have to raise your price also. These are already genes that are on the shelves. This isn't because manufacturing costs have gone up. This is a coordinated price fixing, event that's being done through email. Amazon using its influence as one of the top retailers in the entire world, and they're forcing these other retailers to raise their price along with it.
So
it's the manufacturers are kowtowing and bowing down to Jeff Bezos. Of course, he's rolling around in a $150 million yacht. He doesn't have to worry about anything. Only you people do, that you have to pay more. And this is the bullshit that's going on behind the scenes. It's just like Congress.
Well,
it's more crap.
Hold on. So California has an antitrust lawsuit against Amazon.
Yeah.
And Amazon's saying, oh, you're just trying to add to this suit, bolster it. But guess what? This case is set for trial next January. Yeah. So what are we saying? That you're allowed to raise the prices and screw us until it's set for trial next January. Will it go to trial or will it be? Who knows?
It'll get drug out. How about Alan Dershowitz? What's going on here, bro?
Alan Dershowitz finally is leaving the dark side and is officially ditching the Democratic Party. He's a Harvard professor. He's a lifelong liberal, and he's registering as a Republican, saying the Democratic Party's hostility toward Israel and a radical shift that he warns is bad for America. I mean, look, even when he defended Trump on some lawsuits and stuff, his own friends stop being friends with him, all because of that. I mean, so what? You want the guy to stop making money because it's just for somebody you don't like or don't agree with their views? That's how bad the Democrats are. If you don't follow their way, see their way, you're in their way. They want slaves. That's all they want. Do what I tell you to do. And that's it. Don't question it.
Yeah.
They just want yes people.
Let's play the clip.
Fucking liberals.
He says, I believe that the Democratic Party's hostility to Israel represents a deeper and more dangerous shift away from the center and toward a radical approach that is bad for America and the free world. So I intend to work hard to prevent the Democrats from gaining control of the House and Senate. And I urge those who share my concerns about the increasing influence of radicalism in the Democratic Party to vote, campaign, and contribute for continued Republican control of Congress. Yep.
Good for him. He actually represented the president during the impeachment trial. He's always been open and somewhat balanced, and astounded what has happened on the Ivy League campuses because he used to be a longtime professor there. So I think he's going to be a Republican. He must have seen some of the stats we went over yesterday. Only 24% of Gen Zers are in support of Israel. Overall in our country, when asked who do you sympathize with, it's 50-50, with 80% of Republicans sympathizing with Israel and the majority of Democrats now sympathizing with Palestinians.
Oh, poor babies.
So
Gen Zs are lost. It's a lost cause.
We talked about this a little bit on the show yesterday. Representative Sheila Cherfulis McCormick. She resigns right before the ethics vote. You discussed this yesterday, George. We didn't know she was going to resign. Of course, they found her guilty on 25 violations. Many of them are criminal. She's facing criminal charges. A lot of this is tied to this scammy family healthcare business. She's got multiple federal charges for stealing $5 million in FEMA funds, laundering them, and using straw donors for her 2021 campaign, which are FEC violations. Of course, she calls the ethics process unfair and a witch hunt. Of course she does. No surprise. Another scumbag in Congress. I'm not really surprised by this, but of course, didn't really have a choice about resigning. I hope that she ends up in jail for everything she's done. I hope many other congressional members join her. Maybe we should open up a congressional prison, and we can just have a whole bunch of them all there, and they can all, sit around thinking about gerrymandering inside the prison.
Well, DeSantis now says he'll call a special election for the vacancy. Why? I don't know, because you're going to have to do another election in November. Might as well just leave the seat vacant. It's a Democrat seat, giving us more an advantage if Congress wants to try and attempt to pass more legislation.
Yeah. Can't even get John Thune to do anything, another POS.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip, George.
Well, it's an unjust indictment, and it seems like his intimidation tactics have been pervasive. We spent all week seeing different members getting censured, all in hopes of intimidating and kind of distracting from the Epstein files. And I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black and brown people, then we're going to have to keep fighting for the district. And everybody has been giving me so much support, and we're going to keep fighting until the district gets what it needs, which is fair prices, housing, and fair representation of Congress.
Did
so
you
thank you so
improperly
much.
What's your response to the calls from some of your colleagues to step down or resign?
They didn't elect me. It was my district. And so we'll keep fighting for the people and keep working like we're doing now until they get what they need. So we're here for the people. So the only people who elected me should make that decision.
She's here for her people. 5 million stolen in FEMA funds. Yeah, she's here for the people. More garbage in, garbage out. If you appoint and if you allow these candidates to get installed in Congress, this is what you get. If you install trash, you're going to get nothing but trash out. She's trash. She stole from the American public, allegedly, and I hope she faces the consequences for her actions.
Mm-hmm. Hit the road, Jack. See you later.
All right. So listen, we're out of time for today. Don't forget to hit that follow button on the way out the door. You can throw us a Rumble Rant tip. You can do a paid subscription, maybe gift some subscriptions to your friends and family. Or, you know what? We're over the target. You guys see it. We appreciate you guys giving us your trust. Take the short form, take the long form. Grow your own social media with The Big Mig Show. And listen, if you're on YouTube, please go over and follow our channel over there. If you're on any of the podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, find The Big Mig Show, give us a follow and leave us a comment. We need all the help we can. All that stuff propels us into the algorithms, and we need to grow the shows. So we appreciate you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow. George.
Yeah, it's hump day. Enjoy it. See you tomorrow. God bless you. Love you guys. Peace.
I might have to let it drop. Said got it hella big, had the money back again, like said had the hella big, had the money.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA. The future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.